In this episode of Tech Video, we will be going through some of the best free alternative to Adobe Creative Cloud application, which include Photoshop, Premiere, Illustrator, Audition, and InDesign. So let's delve into it together. Starting at number 1, we have DaVinci Resolve, which is the best alternative to Adobe Premiere. Well, it isn't just alternative, it is one of the most brilliant video editor. Like it is used here in the Hollywood production, color correction, fusion effects, audio editing, in every single thing within one single application. Like it has so many advanced features that it would just simply blow your mind. And let me show you some of the Hollywood best production that has been rendered using DaVinci Resolve. And this is just one piece of the ice. Like there is so many advanced features in it, and above all, most of the features that you would find here is absolutely free. Now, if you would like to download it, what you would do here is go to the official website. The link will be in the description, and click on the free download now. And then that's where you can then choose the operating system, like Windows, since I'm using Windows. And then what you would do is click on Windows, and then you can form the field here, and then simply click on the register download. Now, let me show you how to get started with this. When you open up here the DaVinci Resolve, at first time you would see here all the recent projects that you have created. However, since I'm starting here with a new project just to demonstrate it to you, what I would do here is simply click on the new project, and then I can rename this project to whatever I would like to. For example, video edit. And then once I do that, I can click on the create. It's going to rely the editing studio. What I can do here is go to my Explorer and simply drag some of the clips here. And then if it's tell you that your composition is different from the clips that you're rendering, just click on the don't change, and then what you can do here is simply hold this and then drag it into the composition. Now as you can see here, we have the media where we have dragged some of the files, like the media file that we just dropped into the DaVinci. We have the cut section where we can make cuts to the clips here, but the main thing that more often you would be doing here is in the editing section, but that's where you can then make changes here. As you can see here, if I would like to make here the color grading, I can go into the color section. But if I want to go into the node mode, which is way more advanced by the way, but let's first go to the color mode and try to give a bit of a more aesthetic pleasing color to this beautiful footage. As you can see here, we have the color customs, and then we can then play around here with the colors, like trying to fade out, bring some of the colors in it to make it way more stand out. If I click on the notes section, here was before and after. Now I can come back to the edit section, and then I can drag here another clip here. Now as you can see here, it also has this raw footage that I need to edit it. Now if you would like to get rid of the audio, what you would do here is simply select this and right click here and then click on delete selected, and as you can see here, the audio is gone. Now I want to give again here a bit more vibe effect to this footage. What I would do here is simply select this and then go to the color, and that's where we can then play around here with the color again, like so. As you can see here, before and after. Now if you would like to add here the transition effect, you can click on the effects here, then go to video transition. What I would do here is simply click on the blot dissolve, and it's telling me where to drop it here. Now if you would like to add it between the clips, what I would do here is simply hold this again, then I can copy this transition here, select it, and then paste it between this, and you can then click on the trim clips, and that's how it should look like. As you can see here, like so. Now once you're ready here with the clips, what you can do here is click on the deliver. In deliver section, you can call this project whatever you would like to. You can choose how the codecs here, like resolution, browse it here, where to save it. You can save it here in my folder, and I can call it here the editing, and then simply click on the add to render queue. Like you can play around here with the other advanced setting by the way, but just keep it as default as it is, and then click on add to render queue, and then click on render all. This is how the final video look like. So that's it for the first step of DaVinci Resolve. Let's move on to the second one. On the second spot, we have GIMP, which is the best alternative to Photoshop. Now, GIMP is open source and free available for macOS, Linux, and Windows. It is used here for high quality photo manipulation, artwork creation, and graphic elements. Now, let me show you how to get started with it. When you open up here the GIMP, as you can see here, it would resemble like a Photoshop. While it's not powerful as Photoshop, by the way, but most of the features that you would need here to come up with something creative, it should be suffice for your needs. So when you launch it here, and I'm gonna drag some images into it, I will just simply select these images and then drag it into the GIMP. Now you can see here we have the tab section where I can switch between the images, and now if I press Ctrl plus space, I can zoom the image with the mouse like so. Now on the left side, as you can see here, we have the tools. You can see here the selection tool, we have the fuzzy selection, the crop tool, and the brush tool, and so much more. Now in this case, what I want to do here is simply make a minor adjustment to it for the demonstration. I would go into the colors, hue saturation. I can then adjust here like so. Now I'm just giving you a basic overall usage of it, of course, but if you would like to explore in depth, there is ton of tutorial on the YouTube. Now if I go to the history section, click on the best image, and as you can see here, we have subtle change here. Now you can of course play around with the panels, like when you hold this, you can drag it here like so, and it's gonna attach to the left side of your history panel like in Photoshop. You can attach it here like so as well. Now in my case, I want to kind of make it similar like Photoshop, so I would do here is simply drag this until it is aligned on the left side. Once you're done with the editing and all those things, you can go to file and then export it as. Now if you like to change it to another extension, like a different type, you can click on the select file type and then search anything you would like to, like PNG in this case. I can then click on export, and then I can keep it default here, and as you can see here, it's kind of save the image and render it. That's pretty much it for the GIMP. Like there is ton of feature and so many things here that I wouldn't want to go into it, but just to give you a bit of an overview how to get started with it. Anyway, let's move on to the third application. On the third spot, we have Inkscape, which is the best alternative to Adobe Illustrator. Let me show you how to get started with this. When you open up here for the first time, you would see here the quick setup. Just keep it as default and then click on thanks. You can choose here the new document based on the different resolution. For example, if I go into the 1920 by clicking on the screen, just simply double click on it. Now we have again totally similar to Adobe Illustrator. On the left side, we have all the tools here. On the right side, we can then control all the properties of it. For example, if I select here the rectangle tool, I can drag a rectangle here like so, and then I can go in the fill and stroke. I can fill it with a different color like so from the color panel. Now if I wanted to fill it here with the gradient, I will select the gradient tool, then simply just click over it. I can switch the colors by simply dragging it here like so, and then I can play around here with a different color, select another color of that gradient. I can then choose here trying to play around with something to come up. I can then drag it into my canvas. I can then create here another shape here by clicking on the ellipse or arc tool. If I hold Control while dragging it, as you can see here, it's a perfect circle. I can then again use here the zoom tool here and then play around here with a different thing to just give you an idea how to get used to this tool. Now there is ton of feature, by the way, like you have so many features that would be like really amazing to talk about, but just to give you an idea how to get started with it, once you're done with the illustration, you can go to file and then click on export here. In the export on the right side, you can then choose here a different format like plain SVG or Inkscape SVG. I can click on the plain SVG and then I can save it on my location. That's it for the Inkscape. Let's go on to the fourth application. On the fourth step, we have Audacity, which is the best alternative to Adobe Audition. It has really ton of features. You can record sound on it, make the sound way more clear, and play around with a different equalization. Really outstanding application. And above all, it is free. And let me show you how to get started with this. When you open up here for the first time, what you would do here is go to File and then open that audio. And in this case, I'm gonna open up here one of my sound that I recorded for my previous tutorial. I will just simply select it. As you can see here, it appears on my timeline. Now, if I press space here, on the second spot, we have got her perplexity and ask any. Now if I want to delete her this section, I would just simply select it and then press the delete button. As you can see here, it would merge it. Now you can of course continue here with the rest of these spaces here, just trying to merge it back. Now if you would like to make adjustment to it, what you would do is simply select this, press Ctrl A. It's gonna select this entire timeline of this. And then if you go to effects here and then go to volume and click on loudness normalization, you can then play around here with the different settings just to adjust sound effects properly. If I click on the preview here, and the second spot we have got her perplexity. Now once you're done with it, you can click on apply here. Now this is just to give you the demonstration of it. And the second spot we have got her perplexity. Now if I wanted to save it, I will just go to file here and then click on the export audio. I can then export it on my computer and then choose how the different setting, like the format would be MP3, and then I can set it on my location, which is this one, and then simply hit export here, and that's it. This is how to get started here with the Audacity. On the final spot, we have the Scribus. Now Scribus is one of the most beautiful software that is alternative to Adobe InDesign, which can be used here for different kind of works like brochures, flyers, magazine, newspaper, and so much more. Now let me show you how to get started with this. When you launch here for the first time, you would see here this windows where you have the first pages, like trying to see here like a book view, and you have the single page. You can change how the different parameters here like width and height. What I would do here, simply keep it as a single page and then simply hit OK. What I would want to explain here, you have different tools here like select item text tool, the image tool here, and then the render frame. So for example, if I want to drag here the image, like the container for the image, I will simply drag it like so. I can then go into my Explorer and then simply drag it here. Now as you can see here, the image is exceeding. I will right click here and then click on the adjust image to frame. As you can see here, the image is adjusted. Now the same goes here for the text tool. I will just simply click on the text tool here, and then I can create here a bounding box like so. And then if I double click here, it's gonna allow me to type here anything. For example, I would type here the title of this video. Of course, you can then continue adjusting it furthermore. Now on the top we have these different kind of shapes, like we have image frame, the tables, shapes. You can play around with here trying to come up with something. Now if you'd like to change the font layout of it, what you would do here is simply select on the editor section, where you can then play around here with the text tool like so by increasing the size of it, and you can change here the different fonts here, and you got here the color here. For example, if I want to change that to the blue color, then I'll simply hit OK. Now, as you can see here, the changes is reflected. Now if you would like to save it here, again you would go to file and then click on export. You have a different option to export it for your convenience. For example, save as a PDF. I can save it on a location on my desktop. Simply hit save and then click it. So that's it. That's it for this video as well. I hope you guys like these videos and try to enjoy some of the best free alternative to Adobe Creative Cloud application. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like my overall contents, I make videos every single week related to technology, design, and if you would like to support this channel, feel very free to subscribe to my channel with bell notifications. So I think I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.